My name is Mundane Matt. And, in the aftermath of the 2016 presidential election, right, people are looking for someone to blame. Facebook and Google are pointing the finger at fake news websites. Never mind the fact that Facebook was very much trying to kind of push down conservative articles, and it only kind of let them come into play again once it was called out publicly. We've seen a number of other comedians out there that are pointing the finger at Trump supporters, or in the case of Samantha Bee, an extremely smug and bigoted host of TBS's Full Frontal, accusing white women as the reason why Trump was elected and basically demonizing them for that. Like, we know these things are happening. But what cracks me up is that Twitter is doing this in a way that is utterly, utterly, utterly hypocritical, because they just silenced about 100 Twitter accounts from members from the alt-right. If you don't know what the alt-right is, it's pretty self-fucking explanatory. It's conservatives that are tired of the way the media is portraying them. They're tired of a lot of the ways that things are done, and they're just taking it a different direction. It's really, it's cartoon frogs and memes for the fucking most part. It's really not that big of a deal. But because people like Steve Bannon, now the Trump, chief strategist and whatever, or at least the name floated for that, allowed alt-right to be a place to be spoken on, Breitbart.com, they're using that as a way to demonize him. And as a result of the election, like I said, they're shutting down these fucking accounts. Richard Spencer, who is a very vocal person on the alt-right, basically equated his account being taken down as, like execution squads coming for him on social media. Pax Dickinson, who is a CTO for Researcher and a very, very, very vocal member of the alt-right, his account was taken down, and a whole slew of other people in the process. And it's bullshit, because they were told that their accounts were just suspended for terms of service violation. Now, granted, Richard Spencer has said things like he wants Mexicans and Muslims and other people deported from the country, which is expressing his opinion. It may not be a popular opinion, but it's his opinion nonetheless. But that might be one of the reasons that led to his particular account being taken down. Also, tongue-in-cheek posts from Pat Dickinson, basically calling for Trump assassination or accusing someone of a Trump assassination, so on and so forth, right? Like, over-the-top rhetoric is being used against these people. And it's not to say that it's not also being targeted on the other side. I do want to give an example of someone on the other side of these debates also kind of being called out for this kind of shit. You have Feminista Jones, a woman with nearly 800,000 tweets and who loves to use a block bot, right? She actually tweeted out, "Kill all men," right, in a tweet, and it was reported, and Twitter made her delete it. They suspended her account until she deleted the post. So much so that she actually called out Jack publicly for it. But here she is calling for the death of all men, deletes the tweet, her account's back up. But Ricky Vaughn, Paul Town, Pax Dickinson, Richard Spencer, 96 other accounts from what I can tell, they all were fucking taken down as a result of this whatever the fuck ban it was, this mass alt-right ban. And that is completely unfair. Right now, granted, look, Twitter can operate their platform how they want. It is a private company. I'm not agreeing with with their choices in this particular case. I'm not agreeing with how they're handling the situation. As I said, or as I've talked about before, nobody wants to buy Twitter, right? They were up for sale last month, $16 billion value. 4 companies were kind of eyeing them as a potential bid. No one bothered. Nobody wants Twitter. It's losing users. Its stock prices are down. There's a lot that's happened against it that's not going to benefit the company in the long run. And these kind of actions are only going to showcase that the company is appealing to one demographic over another, and that's going to hurt it, especially now that we are in a Trump presidency. Or, well, we're not in a Trump presidency yet. We still have till January 20th, so let me just clarify that. But that's the whole point, is like we're coming into this different age, and so we're seeing a lot of like whiny, crybaby people over the course of the past week that are just upset at the way things turned out. And Twitter is now responding by trying to shut down the alt-right because goddamn fucking memes apparently decided the fucking election. Right? That's the mentality they want you to think. But anyway, it's not just that, too. People have actually conducted experiments to see what kind of verbiage will get banned. Somebody tweeted out 2 exact similar tweets. One saying, "fuck all white people," another one saying, "fuck all black people." The one saying, "fuck all white people," perfectly fine. It was reported, nothing ever happened. The one saying, "fuck all black people," was taken down. All right, what kind of fairness is that? Where's the equality in that? That was one of the big things that came after the election coverage, when people like Lacey Green and everyone else was like, fuck white people are the worst, man. They fucking executed their constitutional right of voting, man, and fuck them for not voting for my candidate. Like, that's the mentality coming out of the left, and that's now being fucking echoed by goddamn Twitter. All right, it's being echoed by fucking Twitter, and it's sad to see. Like, as soon as another fucking social media site comes along that's as influential as Twitter, I'm fucking off that shit. Like, I love Twitter. I've been using it for years. I have a lot of fun on there, but I have so much trouble being on a platform that supports that kind of mentality. But truth be told, a lot of my interactions with my audience comes from Twitter. A lot of my views come from Twitter. So it's something that a person who uses social media is almost bound to use. And it's unfortunate. I use Facebook quite a bit, but the growth there is harder because Facebook wants me to pay money in order to get a larger exposure on their site. I can't do organic growth as easily as I have been through Twitter. So again, there's problems, but I definitely don't agree with these policies. I have outright chosen to not give Twitter any money through business expenses, none of that kind of stuff. No promotions, nothing. I'm not giving them any money for advertising. I will use their platform. I will engage on their platform. But as soon as I can fuck off to something better, I'm going to fuck off to something better. And I really recommend that for a lot of you out there because they are doing everything they can to silence speech that they disagree with. And we've seen this from a lot of these companies in Silicon Valley. Facebook did that with conservative posts during the election until they were called out. Then they fucking doubled down by saying, no, we didn't do it. But fake news sites, those are the fucking problem, right? That's where we're at right now. And it's goddamn frustrating. It's annoying. And most importantly, I believe it's unfair. They have a right to do it, but I'm still going to call it unfair because you cannot sit there and say that you promote equality and act a fool like this, right? So yeah, you know what? If Pax Dickinson and Richard Spencer and everyone else has done as worse shit as you fucking say that they've done, then suspend their fucking account. But if it's gonna be like Milo Yiannopoulos getting suspended for basically disagreeing with Leslie Jones and calling her out on fucking victimization bullshit, then fuck them. Because their company is going to be destroyed. It's going to die. And the only ones they have to blame are fucking them.